attempts, so we don't have a stat line of the week put in, but
he'd have got it.
It would have had to have been lots of players from this game because the stats were just out of this world because they played for 100 minutes. No, sorry, because about 100 minutes, weren't it? Yeah, it was about 100 minutes.
It was. Paul McShane, 2 tries, 2 try assists, 7 tackle busts, 256 metres and 3 clean breaks. Daryl Alfertz, 2 tries, 5 tackle busts, 183 metres and 2 clean breaks. Jake Truman, 1 try, 9 tackle busts, 161 metres and 2 clean breaks. And Jordan Turner, the try machine, as Rob would say, 1 try, 6 tackle busts and 152 metres. For the losers, George Lawler, 69 tackles. 12 from marker, 69. 12 from marker, 178 metres going both. God,
how fucking sore is he this
week? George King, 43 tackles, 11 markers, tackles, 6 tackle busts, 163 metres. Sean Kenny Dowell, 1 try, 1 try assist, 8 tackle busts, 156 metres and 2 clean breaks. And Jez Litton, 1 try assist, 47 tackles, 10 marker tackles, 6 tackle busts, 135 metres and 2 clean breaks. All of them would normally win stat line of the week.
Pretty much. And do you know what? There was probably another 8 or 9 players that would normally get in a stats roundup as well. 99 minutes they went for, didn't they, until Gareth O'Brien finally ended the drop goal.
The inevitable Gareth O'Brien drop goal.
Sure, actually, that's a good point, because Sarah made a point of making sure that me and you both got the breakdown of how these went. So Ian Laybourne, who was at the game reporting on it, tweeted his notes from the 19 minutes of drop goal madness last night, and he said 82 O'Brien miss, 84 Richardson off target, 86 Richardson wide, 87 Abdul wide, 89 O'Brien charge down, 91 Richardson wide, 92 O'Brien wide, 93 Lewis Flapper, 90 I don't know if he just broke into some 90s, 1920s dancing. 94 Truman wide, 97 Richardson charge down, 98 O'Brien goal.
I said at the time Sarah sent that through, that really ought to go on the t-shirt. It really should. Fan views. Fat Boy Rob returning to his standard moniker. Never in doubt. Macca equals hope. I'm not sure by Macca who he means there, whether he means our correspondent from Hull or somebody else. Macca equals hope. Some will say Rovers just shaded the first 68 minutes, going into a 32-18 lead, but Cass are a different animal this season, and I don't know how to lose. Macca sent Try Machine Turner over as the hooter sounded to level things up, and sent it to Golden Point. Fast forward 19 minutes and 23 missed drop goal attempts, and O'Brien sends the Tigers through. The treble is still on. Coif and pray for Tom.
Joshua's granddad said, Gaz O'Brien doing what Gaz O'Brien does. Rover reversing their normal game plan of starting crap to one of not being able to hold on to a lead. Good go forward off Litton and Abdul, but an inability to do the hard stuff and at the end cost them big time. How many drop goal attempts were there? Oh, for a Lee Breers or a Mark Snide.
EFC 78JU says Castleford did not have the best first period, but the second period was the fight back, and they got it to 32-32 to take it to Golden Point, and Gareth O'Brien nailed the kick to send the Tigers to the QFs quarterfinals. Well played, lads. See you next year, Darryl Powell at the HJ Stadium.
Tom Andrews said, win a game twice and still lose, the Hull KR mantra. Seems to be a case of what I said pre-season, a lack of experienced half will bite us on the arse. We are the only team in the league where you look at the halves and wonder who will win you a close game. Back sounded good. Leah the same, mate. But back sounded good. Ethan Ryan should be keeping his place. Forwards seem to be improving, although I worry about Vete's fitness. He might want to rethink his Ethan Ryan comment when he looks at the defence in the 80th minute, though.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Took the dummy. Hull KR throw away, comfortable lead. Hull KR lose golden point tie. Gaz O'Brien beating Hull KR with a crucial drop goal. All of these have a feeling of deja vu about them. Also, ha 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 ha. I think Sarah enjoyed that.
She certainly found it funny. What about you? Did you enjoy it? Who did you think stood out in that game?
McShane was amazing. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, Mark. I watched the highlights, and that can be a bit misleading. But McShane almost single-handedly decided he was not going to be beaten, and that Castleford would get themselves back into that game. I mean, his stats are astonishing, as a number of them are, but his stats are astonishing. But that final, I mean, he scored and laid on a couple of tries. That final try, yes, there was a bite into a dummy, and which obviously you really don't want to see if you're the defending side. But it was absolutely brilliant what he did down that side. He dummied, took it on the outside, drew the defender, little one-handed ball round the side. To do that calmly in the right, on the hooter when the hooter had already blown, to get the try in the corner was amazing.
Yeah,
he really lived up to his Man of Steel moniker on this occasion. He had a fantastic game.
It was one of those moments that deserved to be seen live by a bigger audience in a bigger match, probably, didn't it, than a third round of the Challenge Cup early kick-off, our league game. Yeah. And, I mean, I was following... Obviously, I was very aware of the score, and I was following it. I wish I'd bought this game. I know,
Following it on Twitter and on the BBC website, trying to find out what the hell was going on.
I had the extra time on the well, in fact, I had basically from Kenny Dow going over. I had it on the radio, and I thought. Because when I checked the score at half time, I had a bit of a chuckle. And then I saw that there was a comeback on, so I thought, I'll put the radio on. And as soon as I did it, Kenny Dowell went over and then put Abdul through. And I was all ready for us to talk about Sean Kenny Dowell having a great game and being
Which he did.
An important player. He's the captain this year, and is it a turning point for Rovers and that sort of stuff. And then it just went insane. And then you couldn't turn it off because, like you say, you couldn't stop refreshing your Twitter feed. You couldn't switch off what you were looking at. The Wigan game was just kicking off, and everyone could watch that. It was free, so we all had it on our TVs, didn't we? But we were like... No one could switch off from what was going. Even in that game, they were talking about. By the way, they're into the third period of extra time. They're into the fourth period of extra time. You couldn't switch off, and that winning try, you brilliantly explained. I do think that a lot of the other tries Castleford got, there was an element of luck to them. There was a couple of them where it was like balls bouncing around between legs, just ended up in the right place for Cass.
Ricochets on kicks throughs and things like that, weren't there?
But there was a make your own luck aspect to it, I suppose, and that last try. But they went coast to coast before going up the field. There was,
They did.
I'm sure for you it was bringing back some memories.
It did. It was not quite wide to west, but it was reminiscent.
Yeah, well, an excellent game and an excellent climax. And it is quite funny, isn't it, that it was Gareth O'Brien who managed to get it in the end. Not on the first set, with the first attempt at a drop goal, like he did last time in 2016. He's thought he'd save it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's an obvious irony there. I think the other thing is, and obviously when you've lost, it can't feel this way, but actually I do think there is some encouragement there for Hull KR, because quite frankly, they haven't looked close enough.
Nah, I think they've just shown that they can lose games in any which way now. I think it's the opposite.
That's a bit hard.
No, I think it's the opposite. They've done it both ways. They've dropped a game that they'd won, and they came back and nearly won a game that they'd surely lost.
I'm a bit more optimistic. I think I haven't seen. I mean, Castleford for me have been with Hull sort of the two really standout sides, I think, so far. Notwithstanding the fact that both our teams have started well. I think Hull and Castleford have been terrific so far, and I think for Hull KR, who I think have not been good so far, to put on a really good show like that, and yes, all right, blow it, but I think there are a lot of good signs there for Hull KR, and I hope for Hull KR fans, sorry Sarah, that they're able to build on that and put together a proper challenge this season, and not spend the whole season skulking around the bottom 2 or 3 places.
Let's move on to the second game, which was Championship versus Super League this time around. It was York versus Wigan. It was 14-0 to the visiting Warriors at half-time and 26-0 at full-time. Marcus Griffiths was the referee. No stats on this one, unfortunately, but we've got some fan views. So we'll start with Mark Snide's forgotten right foot is back again. Valiant effort by a depleted and makeshift York side, but Wigan had class all over the field and the golfing quality showed towards the end of the game and gave us the result most predicted. Hardacre, Bateman and Hastings all put in solid performances. Good to see York blood some young local youngsters against the Super League side. Yeah, that was great, that. Also, coverage on the Sportsman was superb. Really hope to see more in the near future and beyond.
Dr. Hideous says Wigan didn't deserve to go ahead. They spent most of the first quarter not threatening at all, instead knocking on and giving away penalties inside the 20.
Yep.
A rising about in the tackle gave York quick repeat sets. I really like this 6-again law, but as the first half ended, Wigan found themselves and dominated for the rest of the game. If Wigan start league games like that, they're not going to have a good year.
Dave, have you not watched the first 2 rounds, mate? We're 2-0 when we've started games like that.
There you are.
EFC78JU said, even though I'm a Warrington fan and I wanted Wigan to win this game, and they have done it in style this evening by scoring 26 away from home at York Knights. And they also nilled, which is a positive for all the Wigan players out there trying to win silverware that they have not won since 2013. For their supporters, I wish them the best of luck in the next round, and hopefully Wire do not get them. Wow, that is refreshing, and also it's refreshing, as EFC will agree, for Wigan and Warrington to not be drawn against each other yet.
It is actually, Cup. Yeah. I was expecting it to be a Wigan-Warrington.
A Challenge Cup quarter-final where Wigan aren't playing Warrington.
I know, it's bizarre. Saving it for the semi-final. Matt Speakman, 20, says, job done, into the next round. York were always going to come at us strong in the first 20 due to the nature of the tie and their team, but struggled to keep it up. And class showed for Wigan. Hastings in particular was fantastic. I thought he did have a good game from what I could see. At this point of the season, I'll settle for predictable games as long as we rack up the wins. On to Leeds.
And Desert Badger said...
Great name, Desert Badger.
Well, it's a Wigan fan, I'm fairly sure, but he's contacted us on Facebook before, but I think this is his Twitter handle for the same guy, who's actually from my neck of the woods originally, but now lives over in the UAE. Desert Badger said, great effort by York. They certainly didn't embarrass themselves. Was really surprised by the quality of the Sportsman TV coverage. Bring on Hull.
What did you think of the game then, Mark?
Do you know what? I'm going to pick up on this Sportsman point first of all, right. Because it is decent coverage. It's the R-League production company, isn't it? The coverage, yeah. But maybe they have a slightly higher budget on the Sportsman because I think it's supplemented through a commercial entity that maybe has more money than the RFL do. But I think, but yeah, it's decent coverage. It's for a free stream. it's not the sort of coverage you want to be watching Super League teams on, is it? Really, the R-League coverage and the sportsman coverage, but it's totally the coverage you think would be more